Hey guys, what's up? Baller here. We are now on this March 16, 2023 NBA Game Day. We got 5 games for today. And to kick things off, let's talk about this game between Denver Nuggets and Detroit Pistons, which will happen at around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 7 o'clock a.m. here in Manila. I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed yet to our YouTube account or YouTube channel, Baller. Please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, hit on that bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever new videos are uploaded. By the way, the spread that is given is minus 12.5, and that's actually given towards the visiting team, Denver Nuggets. Now, before we proceed, let's take a look at the standings and the rankings of these two teams. All right, starting with Detroit Pistons, they are dead last, or number 15 in the Eastern Conference, with a record of 16 wins and 54 losses. While for Denver Nuggets, they are the king of the Western Conference, number one currently with a record of 46 wins and 23 losses. All right, so Detroit Pistons, they would have the home court advantage on this. In terms of fatigue, well, both teams were able to rest last night, so we can just skip that part. Momentum-wise, both teams are coming off losses. You know what I'm saying? Detroit coming off a loss against Washington Wizards. They got dumped by 20 points. Well, man, Denver Nuggets, this is so unusual. Approaching this game, they are on a 4-game losing slump. Now, if you guys would want to take a look at their form, Denver Nuggets, they have won 5 out of their last 10, so they are still doing decent. While Detroit Pistons, they have only won once out of their last 10 games. Now, let's take a look at the availability of the players and the health of both teams. Starting off with Denver Nuggets, Zeke and Colin Gillespie are both out for Denver, and Jamal Murray is actually listed as probable for them. So the likelihood of him suiting up and playing is actually high. For Detroit Pistons, though, man, they are banged up. Let me see. We got Bagley, Bogdanovich, Alec Burks, Hamidou Diallo, Isaiah Livers, and Isaiah Stewart all confirmed out for them. So that's a total of 6 players. If you would want to include Cade Cunningham, that's 7. And we have Jaden Ivey listed as questionable. So that's 7 players out of their lineup. Jaden Ivey, one of their great rookies, are even listed as questionable. So obviously, health-wise, Denver Nuggets got the advantage. All right, so these are the types of games wherein it's kind of tricky because again, obviously Denver Nuggets is the much better team amongst these two, and I guess the record shows, right? They are the number 1 team. Detroit Pistons, they are dead last in the East. But the question here is whether Denver would beat Detroit. The question here is whether Denver would actually cover the spread. That's 12.5. That's a bit big, right? But obviously, Denver Nuggets is very much capable of doing that. We saw what happened to Detroit Pistons on their last game. They lost to Washington by 20 freaking points, right? But the question here is, would Denver Nuggets do the same? Now, if we would compare Denver Nuggets to Washington Wizards badly needed that game because they need to actually get into the top 10. While Denver Nuggets, they are already at top 1. And I think they would even end up really at number 1 spot in the West. So the question here is, would their starting 5 or would their starting core be given their usual minutes? If you're the player, would you actually be hustling or doing what you really got to do on an ordinary game or in a usual game, knowing that you are already in? Those are the types of the questions that you got to consider, whenever you're trying to put money on this particular matchup. I gotta be honest, I'm not gonna put money on this particular game because again, the spread is actually tricky. But for those who would really want to include this in their parlays, or for those who are Denver Nuggets or Detroit Pistons fans, my suggestion is for you to just put the money on Denver Nuggets, man. And let's not overthink stuff. I mean, again, Detroit Pistons lost to Washington Wizards by 20 points. Obviously, Denver Nuggets is way better than Washington Wizards. Denver Nuggets, they are the healthier team. It seems like Murray would actually be playing. And again, Detroit Pistons is really banged up. So my pick on this one would be Denver Nuggets minus 12.5. Again, that's Denver minus 12.5. Peace out. Pasay love and God bless.